Recognizing the difference between design versus effective capacity is typically recognizing the difference between the realistic versus the theoretical. You can really see that in this particular scenario. Global Freightways would never load a Boeing 747 with more than 124 tons of freight. Now, this sure sounds like a capacity to me, but I'm not going to comment yet what kind. Although this aircraft is, whoops, wait a minute, theoretically capable of carrying as much as, and then there's this other number, 140 tons. The danger of loading a Boeing 747 with greater than 124 tons, the first number, is the possibility that weather becomes poor at its destination, forcing the pilot to land at a much faster speed than usual. The increased speed of landing stresses the landing gear, and if the 747 is loaded with more than the 124, that first number again, there exists a small possibility it might fail during landing. Okay, what terminology describes the issue of the first number versus the second number? Well, the terminology that describes the distinction between the two numbers is the two terms I quoted at the beginning. One of them is design capacity, a certain measure of overall capability. The other one is effective capacity, an alternate measure of overall capability. Question is, which is which? Oh, all right. Not too hard to make the call in this case because the word was actually used in the scenario. Remember that design capacity is theoretical. It is the maximum ability of an asset or a system under ideal conditions. And they said it here. Theoretically capable of carrying 140 tons of freight. That is its design capacity. The effective capacity is what you can reasonably expect at maximum out of a system. Okay, effective capacity, I mean, in a certain sense, is more realistic. Wait, you say, well, all right, I'm still not clear why you were so sure that the 124 was the effective. Well, first off, theoretical and ideal versus realistic. Remember that effective capacity can't be more than design capacity. It's going to be less than or equal to design capacity. Well, the 124 is definitely less than the 140. So that right there was telling you which one was which. The other reason that I know that the 124 is the effective capacity of a Boeing 747 is because of the additional language in that scenario where it's talking about what? It starts talking about poor weather at the destination, right? And increased landing speed. Oh, it's talking about reasons why you want to keep it at 124 and not press it to 140. These reasons are called determinants of effective capacity. And the fact that they were speaking to why you want to keep it down to 124 is also telling me that that's the effective capacity. Oh, all right. Well, I think we thoroughly answered that one. Now, in this no frame, another question is snuck in. Suppose Global Freightways loads a Boeing 747 with 120 tons of freight. Okay, so it's still way below its even effective capacity for a 4,400 mile trip. What is Global Freightways' utilization of the airplane? Okay, another term, utilization. We remember that utilization is output over design capacity. Okay, utilization is a performance measure. Like you're using the system, what is your degree of utilization of it? Oh, so in order to answer that question, the only thing that we have to do is actually calculate this ratio. Now there's an irony with this question because we do need two numbers, right? One for the numerator, one for the denominator. We were already talking all about why we were quite confident that the denominator is 140. Question is what to put here, and you go, all right, well, they put 120 tons on the plane. It is theoretically capable of 140 tons, so just put that in your calculator and get like 0.8571 or essentially 85.71%. That's the answer to the question. Okay, that is the utilization of the Boeing 747 in that particular situation. The irony is, notice that we never even used this, and it's true, we didn't. They told us that it was a 4,400 mile trip. Don't be distracted. We're talking about, at that moment, the utilization of the plane. It can do, theoretically, 140 tons. You have, at any given moment as it flies, asked it to carry 120 tons, so it's just 120 divided by 140.